Science and Days are here again. Hello, everyone. It is Friday. Glad you're here. Thank you. You make it part of the journey. And speaking favor to all of us this day, the last Friday of the year, 2019. Hey, c'est la vie, right? Oh, yeah. Big Al's in the room. How you doing? And David Barry, hello, all the moderators. And there's Robert. How are you doing? Truth in Me. Kenneth, good to see you. Darth, hello. Let's see. Brandy, you're a fine girl. There's Robert. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. In my memories. I love it. Pure Love Ascension. Hello. Hillard, good to see you. Sel, hello. Jewel, Lori, Lady Gray Raven. How are you doing? Blanca, good to see you. Mr. Sapien, good to see you, sir. And Tim, so many people. Thank you for stopping in and make it worth your while. This will be a fun day. Going into the archives and the time when, we were catching all the weird stuff, and they're still doing it up on the ISS. It's not like it was in the beginning. It was the Wild West back then. I mean, they couldn't. Anyway, we're going to see it. You'll be able to look for it for yourself and lots of stuff. It's just the Black Knight. How many of you have heard of the Black Knight? Well, we're going to see the actual ISS footage of the Black Knight. It does exist. And we're going to see, and I want to thank Philip for this. Hello, Brandy. Good to see you. Little Evan, for sending me the patent. This patent it is a year old. And it completely shows now, without a doubt, folks, we are in outer space. I contend we're probably out beyond the planets of this solar system. We have the technology, it works, and we're almost getting to the point now of where you could say sublight speed. That's incredible. We know now that they are well advanced into teleportation. Apparently going very well. They understand exactly the science around matter, reconstituting matter. And then, of course, I think maybe the best word would be disengaging matter. It's all about the atom, man. I mean, that's what the universe is made of. Protons. People say, what is it? Protons, neutrons, electrons, and on planet Earth. And I have no doubt probably in space itself and other planets, morons. Want to thank everyone for the comments. Resistance is futile. Ain't that the truth? For the great comments, discussions, exchange of ideas on the reality that there is no Lucifer, no Satan. Gee, kind of takes all the fun out of it, doesn't it? But there's something out there, who knows? It may be just us. But hey, we got aliens in the freaking Vatican worshiping the God that they worship. Boy, that puts a whole new thought into your head, like, wing. All right, so I have, let's see, Joe says, I like to be a proton. Stay positive. Yes, but remember, in order for that proton, Joe, you've got to have the neutron, then the electron. Yeah, you got to love it. It's ever endless. Check this out. This has been probably when I captured this. Oh, good Lord. I think this is 2016, 2015, right around there. This was one of the stranger events. I've taken stills of this. You know, I've looked at this. I've analyzed it from virtually every way that I can. I don't know what they were dealing with. I don't know what we were dealing with. I don't know exactly what it is that we're actually seeing, but this is a camera that points out to the, how can I say this? Kind of the rear, if you want to say it. And that's not even proper. Maybe the aft section of the ISS. I contend that they were doing, and either there was something out there and they were experimenting with this. I don't know. What I'm going to do is turn the brightness down so we can actually see this object. You can see exactly what I'm doing. So it brings the image out. You don't want to take the gamma all the way down. So here we go. Whatever this is, it is still one of the strangest events, and I have seen a number of them. And here comes the laser, what appears to be a laser, but you can see that it's obviously, there is something there. And you can continue to see this. It gets more bizarre. And I just let the footage go because this is the kind of stuff that intrigued me to know that, well, I think that interdimensionality is a reality. You know, if we say that the atmosphere of Earth, because the ISS is technically in the atmosphere, it's not in outer space, it's still in the Earth's atmosphere, albeit 225 plus miles up. But I have seen stuff that makes me convinced that, and this is the front. So there's nothing heading in front of it. So, and you have to understand, as this was coming off of the ISS feed live, I'm going to just let it play. To do run, and here we go. And then they switch cameras. You know, I've thought about this, that maybe we're seeing an experiment. I mean, that's a possibility. But it gets more bizarre. So is this a light coming from the ISS? Is this a laser? Is this some sort of photon beam? What is it hitting? Is it hitting a bubble? Is it a plasma bubble? Now you see where there's another beam. You have to admit, to get up in the morning, I think this was like, 1:30 in the morning for me. And to see this coming off of the ISS feed, you're going, good morning, Joe. I mean, what are we looking at? It's still somewhat undefinable to me. I have a lot of different ideas. Every time I watch it, I continue to get, and then you can see we're going back to normal space. Now that's weird, but watch what comes up. it's like suddenly we're in this dust cloud, and this is a camera just pointing out. Strange things are brewing up there, folks. And now it's so heavily regulated. The U.S. gave up it. It's hard to say who is doing what there. But yeah, so there is one that it's still one of those that you just go, what? But yeah, so let's pull up another one. I love this one because it was one of those times when, and I have to pull up the video. I know I have the video. So y'all just talk amongst yourselves. I'm doing fine here. I'm just driving the bus here to find out. Let's see. Mm-hmm. And you can't see these, but I can. Let's see. I don't think I want this, but we'll see. Y'all just talk amongst yourselves. I'm pulling these up. Yeah, this is an interesting one. All right, I'm going to let it play, and then I'll pull y'all in so what you can see is what I am seeing. This was a strange one indeed. So this is a capture of, well, I guess it is the sun. It's questionable, but it has all the attributes to the sun. I mean, if any of you have not studied what the sun looks like particularly from the ISS, it's very colorful. It's an exchange of plasma. It's quite interesting. So, you can actually see where this camera is set inside of the ISS. I mean, they literally sit. I don't know if you know this, they're not outside. Then they may have installed some new ones outside here in the last year or so, but for the most part, these were all just basically in different parts of the station. And many times they just set up on a ledge and just had these cameras pointed out. And so you get a lot of what we call in the industry backwash. You can clearly see the solar panels reflecting as well. So now this is a strange one because as the sun is arising, and we assume that's the sun, I'll show you one that, well, you'll have to make your own determination. This one, listen, I don't know how the others say it. I remember back when Steve Olson and I were doing programs together. This is clearly what can only be looked as either a vapor trail or, I don't know, you can't say smoke trail. I don't know what a smoke trail would look like in space. Would you? Anyway, I don't know. And as you can see, this camera is pointed right at the sun. And it looks nothing like how we see it here on Earth. And even other pictures that you'll capture of the sun up this high, doesn't give you this idea of this round circle in the sky. So it's coming up and you can still see all of this. I'm going to advance this a little bit so we can begin to see this. So here we go. That's the Soyuz, the emergency one, I do believe. Fascinating stuff up there. And we'll continue to advance it. All right, so here comes the sun from behind there. So give me 1 second on this. Well, you can just see how the light just goes crazy when you're pointing the camera directly at the sun, and particularly when you no longer have the Earth's atmosphere, and you can continue to see what looks to me to be just a vapor trail. And now they're moving the camera. You can see how they're manually moving the camera. And this one is outside, excuse me. You can see how they're tilting it now. Now they're going, there's the Earth. And they'll point it back. When they don't want to show something many times, they'll do this. Let's see, the sun is obviously to the upper left coming in. Well, I'm not sure what I actually had here on this. There is a particular arm. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, this is not the one I was thinking. Yeah, I got a full camera out. I mean, all right, so let me go to another one, folks. Let's see. Y'all just talk. I'm just, I had a list of these. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm looking this ahead of time, so you won't be bored. I respect your time, but yeah, okay. Great video, folks. So let me just pull this up, and I'm going to have to back it up for you. So here we go. So this was posted September 2016. I'll let it play. Now, I've shown you stills of this. This is the actual video. And look at how it's feeding directly off of the sun. And by the way, this ship is, seriously, folks, bigger than the Earth. I mean, that's just how big this thing is. You can see another one down there. And look how it literally bathes itself in the sun's corona. This is obviously alien technology. Look at that. Look how it's being directly, that's raw plasma, folks. I mean, coming directly off of the corona. I mean, and you can actually see the latch. That's how it's entering. And then look at this one. This one is so far down into it. Look at the heat. I mean, you think about it, a star would be a natural refueling depot. I mean, if you're going to be one who's going to be out, exploring the cosmos, you would have to have a replenishable energy source. And a star would be perfect for that. But look at this. You can see how actually the what we would call the filaments. Look at the plasma. You know, it's folks. This is just incredible footage. This is the footage as you're seeing it. I want to give credit over on Facebook, UFO at Section 51. Look at that. And you can see the backside of the craft right here. Huge. Folks, I mean, this is planet size. Amazing footage, is it not? There it is. I don't know what kind of technology. There's the shot. I mean, you can just see it for yourself. It's quite remarkable indeed. But yeah, I mean, say what you will. Let me just get out of here for a second. You know, if the Book of Og taught us one thing, humans, smaller selves, remember, we perceive everything in the universe at the average height of 6 feet. That's what we measure the universe with and other life. Everything is gone through filters. And so the vast majority of human beings, that's how they perceive life. We can't handle the fact that maybe there are beings that, hey, could be 1,000 feet. Who knows? It's sometimes befuddles our imagination. But you have to admit, that one is very interesting. All right, here is another one, and I want to pull this one up and make sure that I've got the right one. Ba-ba-ba-bum-bum. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the moon. All right, so we go right back here again to another ISS sunset. And here we have this phenomenon again of the cascading vapor trail. And here the problem is the sun's going in the wrong direction. Now that's a problem. People say, well, how do you know it's the wrong direction? Well, it's because we know where this camera is, and I can show you, and I will, other videos that show the sun going in the other direction. But what's more curious is the vapor trail. Hey, you know, is this the sun? Is this a sun? Is this a comet? Is this a meteorite? Look at this. I mean, you can see it for yourself. And then we begin to see the strangest effect of a sunset from the ISS. And you can see all the distortion in the camera. So whatever the feed was picking up, and this is the feed itself, as you can see. So yeah, that one's a little weird. When you catch those, you go, well, just, you know, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, it's sometimes different. All right, now let me pull this one up, and so I can show you what a sunrise. And I want to make sure before I put you through this that we're seeing the right thing. Do, 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 do. Again, just talk amongst yourselves here. Because you can see what I've done here. What I would do, I would just set my computer up and just record hours and hours of the footage. Oh yeah, this is a pretty cool one. That, well, I'd go back and look at it and go, well, look at here. So here we go. Here is either the moon or a craft. I'm not sure. You're seeing it come into much more clear view right now. And it's right here. And I'll advance this, but just keep your eye on this. Now here comes the sun. Now see how it's falling down on this camera. And here it comes. So that is the sun. Here comes the sun. Doot, 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 doot. So I just wanted to show you. You see, it's not moving sideways, right or left. You know, it's moving like it would. It's about to go down behind the Earth, or as the ISS is moving away from it. And you can actually see the camera and the camera lens. If you look, you can actually see the type of rubber booty that's around there. And so there goes the sun. And that's a beautiful crescent view. And I believe the moon is going to show up in here. It's very odd. You don't see the moon photographed from the ISS. I don't know why. They will not focus in on the moon. Weird. What are they trying to hide from us? Well, how about everything? Never a straight answer. Isn't that right? So space is black. And I know it's at the very end here. This is what it is. This is why I'm advancing it. So, you know, imagine that is supposed to be a sky. There's the moon. You see it? Now, my question is that really the moon? If it's not, then what else is in the sky that has, you know, what we would call a natural inclination on the sky? So there you go. They say that that's the moon. I don't know. You tell me. It's weird. I know. It's just, as they would say. So, oh yeah, let me pull up this one. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So this one, we're going to do a series of stills. So you can get an idea of what is going on. And I think this will work. Okay, it will. All right, so we're going to do some stills here. So just watch the sun. Couple things to check out. This is this device, this arm is, and you're going to see, I think it generates basically a weapon, a photon weapon of immense heat. And you're going to see why I think that. So let's go through this. You see how it's behind this arm now. This is when this side is down. They don't no longer have it. We used to be able to track it. We know it's right next to Antarctica. Now, the thing about Antarctica is they would always cut the feed when they were going over Antarctica. Didn't want anyone out there. So pay attention to what's going on here. And here's the sun coming through. It's coming through and filtering through this arm. You can see how the arm is in rotation. Now watch what happens. And I'm going to blow this up and hoping that we can get back. So here's this arm. Take a good look at it. All right. So as we advance, this arm begins to do something. And you can see it's moving. They're moving it into place. These are really interesting solar tubes, whatever you want to call it in here. So let's get on with the show here. Now, here is what's happening. There is something being generated over on the ISS. This is outside. This arm is showing some sort of intensity. Look at this. This is brighter than the sun. And I will pull it up so you can get a close-up as to what we're dealing with here. So this is artificially being generated, whatever that is. And this arm with its payload on it, and I'll bring it in as we get down further so you can actually see what it was that was producing that light. And there it is. Looks totally benign, doesn't it? Yeah. And again, you can see exactly between Africa and Antarctica. And then here we have the different color suns. And here we have two suns. What is the real one? Which one is being generated? I will tell you, this is the real one. This is the one you saw, whatever they were doing to generate whatever they were generating. So, yeah, it really makes you think. I think that's it. So, yeah, go figure on that one. Different. Yep, it is. It's absolutely way different. Now, I want to see something, so just give me another. Oh, so I promised you the Black Knight. For many of you who have never seen the Black Knight, let me pull this up. This is 24 seconds worth. This one is 3 minutes. All right, so we're going to go with the 3-minute version. Give me 1 second, please. And I'm trying to pull this up so you can actually get a good shot of it yourself here. All right. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves, you know. Okay. So, again, good capture here from UFO at section 51. Some of the best footage I have seen of the Black Knight. And ladies and gentlemen, for your observation, there it is. It's active, as you can see the light. And we'll just let this play through. But there it is. You go ahead and tell me, just you can add whatever you want to it. It's cool. So they say that this is ancient technology, that we can't approach it. The background story is that when we do try to approach it, it seems to emit an electromagnetic interference. But as you can see here, it's obviously very much in the range of the ISS. So what is it? Well, I think if anything, it's an observation post. Whether it's manned by biologicals, I don't think so. I think that whatever is manning that is probably of a non-bio form. I don't know. But yeah, so that one is a little weird. Let me show you something as when I was talking about these sunrises that happens with the ISS. And here it is. So it's always fascinating to see what's going on. Is this a reaction to the camera, or is this, and I just finally got used to it, that it's actually catching some sort of interaction. I don't know if you could call it plasma, but it certainly has the same attributes. And as it comes in, and I'll just speed this up so you can, and then it of course goes away. You're probably looking at those small objects in the background. Yeah, it's something. I don't know what, but yeah, strange stuff up there. Let me see this. So let me pull up another one. Oh, this is really the weird one. Let me see. So I'm trying to get some of this previewed for you. Talk amongst yourselves again. And I'm going to show you. Okay, that one isn't worthy of your time. I'm just telling you, it is not. And I'm trying to, I really want to pull one up that really allows you to see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is a good one. Gives you an idea of what I was talking about. Let me, well, I don't want that. I want that. Getting all these controls here. All right. So this is, again, the sun is rising, and you can begin to see the green. You can say, well, it's a reaction to the camera, but what is the camera reacting to? It's just reacting, to the intensity of the light. Yeah, I would agree with that. But then it has the most interesting way of morphing itself and you can see, and this is the sun rising above, I guess you would call it for the ISS. Every time. Weird, isn't it? I know. All right. Let me get over into something that I believe is going to be mind-blowing for you. So Philip sent this to me, and I want to pull up some footage so you can begin to get an understanding of what we're talking about. And I believe that this is, let's see. Okay, I don't want this one yet. I feel like the librarian. I don't want that one just yet, but this is the one I do want. All right. You have probably seen this type of footage. I'm an avid follower. When I get the chance to always see these crafts, I've seen them here. I've seen them go over my house. These are the TR3s. The propulsion system we're going to see, folks, will prove once and for all doubters, all skeptics, naysayers, we are in space. So here is 3 of the crafts. These 2 are connected. You can see one that is circling. It's going to go. Now, what happens here is that these 2 are actually sharing the same quantum space. We have the technology that actually develops a bubble. Yes, a bubble. It's a vacuum. And once this vacuum, this bubble, this electromagnetic bubble is engaged, now you can see they will spin. This is what these crafts do. There is the main engine propulsion system, as you see in the center. Pay very close attention to those because I'm going to show you what those do. And as you see, the crafts are now getting orientated, and they do a natural spin. It's a very interesting pilot being. These crafts must be a hell of a challenge. I'm sure computers do a lot of it, but there you go. It's a perfect view of, now I don't know if this is a B, this could be a C, who could knows? I maybe are into the D's by now. I know we have a fleet of them. It's rumored that we have over 200 of them. Some as big as, believe it or not, 2 miles. Some more designed for attack. Some more for what they call jumping. Literally jumping from one space to the next space. All right, so you've seen it here. We're going to look at more footage on this, but let me get to what, yeah, there it is. Folks, and thank you again, Philip, for sending this. Here it is, folks. This patent was issued literally almost a year to the date, December 4th, 2018. This is U.S. patent number US 10-10144-532B2. This is a craft using inertial mass reduction device. The individual, whoever Caesar is, he or she or what, is one generous individual. This individual would have been richer than any man, woman ever on the planet, but he assigns his patent over to the United States Secretary of Navy. Folks, this is I have this. If you want it, be more than happy to share. Let's get to the abstract. This is crucial that we get this so you understand what we're talking about this. Let me pull this up a little bit more there we go. So we can all, there we go. Abstract. A craft using an inertial mass reduction device comprises of an inner resonant cavity wall, an outer resonant cavity, and microwave emitters. The electrical charged outer resonant cavity wall and the electrical insulated inner resonant cavity wall form, get this, a resonant cavity. The microwave emitters create high-frequency electromagnetic waves throughout the resonant cavity, causing the resonant cavity to vibrate in an accelerated mode and create a local polarized vacuum outside the outer resonant cavity wall. And there's our device. You saw it in action. Here it is again. Now, what it is showing in this patent is remarkable. As we go into it, and as you continue to read, in each one, they have the prior artwork to show this. This is a field. This is, as you can see in figure 2, I'll reduce this down. You can see what it's producing. It's producing this bubble, this vacuum bubble. Now, once you're inside of it, hold on to this. Look at this statement here. It says, craft using the inertial mass reduction device. Statement of government interest. The invention described herein may be manufactured and used by and for the government of the United States of America for governmental purpose without payment of any royalties thereon or therefore. Yeah. I've got to read this a little bit more to you because, folks, this is exactly what, if you were looking for the evidence, here it is. And he goes on and says, there are 4 known fundamental forces which control matter and therefore control energy. Folks, think about this spiritually as well. The 4 known forces are strong nuclear forces, weak nuclear forces, electromagnetic force, and gravitational force. In this hierarchy of forces, the electromagnetic force is perfectly positioned to be able to manipulate the other 3. Did you catch that? Oh, folks, get this. A stationary electric charge gives rise to an electrostatic field, while a moving charge generates both an electric and magnetic field, hence the electromagnetic field. Additionally, an accelerating charge introduces electromagnetic radiation in the form of transverse waves, namely light. Mathematically, as well as physically, electromagnetic field intensity can be represented as the product of electric field strength and magnetic field strength. The electromagnetic fields act as a carriers for both energy and momentum, thus interacting with physical entities at the most fundamental level. Artificially generated high energy electromagnetic fields, such as those generated with a high energy electromagnetic field generator, that is an HEEMFG, interact strongly with the vacuum energy state. This is freaking. The vacuum energy state can be described as an aggregate and collective state comprised of a superposition of all quantum fields, fluctuations permeating the entire fabric of space-time. Don't tell me we're not out there. High energy interaction with the vacuum energy state can give rise to emergent physical phenomena, such as force and matter fields unification. This is Star Trek kind of stuff, folks. This is, shields. According to quantum field theory, this strong interaction between the fields is based on the mechanism of transfer of vibrational energy between the fields. The transfer of vibrational energy further induces local fluctuations in adjacent quantum fields which permeate space-time. These fields may or may not be electromagnetic in nature. Matter, energy, and space-time are all elements, constructs, which arise out of the fundamental framework that is the vacuum energy state. Everything that surrounds us, ourselves included, can be described as a microscopic collections of fluctuations, vibrations, and oscillations in quantum mechanical fields. We talk about ascension, folks. This is it manifesting in physical matter. Can you believe this? Matter is confined energy, bound within fields, frozen in a quantum of time. Therefore, under certain conditions, such as coupling of a hyper-frequency axial spin with a hyper-frequency vibrations of electrically charged systems, the rules and special effects of quantum field behavior also apply to the microscopic physical entities. Microscopic quantum phenomenon. Now, I'll just stop right there. This, folks, so let me pull up some footage for you so we can really get an idea as to how far this has really gone. Give me 1 second. If you don't think that, okay, yeah, this is good. Excuse me. Didn't want that, but that's cool. All right. Once again, thanks to the work of UFO at Section 51. Check it out. There she sits. Yep. Now, as you can see here, they're going to slow this down. I think that's an F-18B, I think. There it is. I'll stop it right there. So you can get an idea of the Black Hawk here. I'd say, excuse me, it looks to be 1.5 times, probably that's sitting, if you look in relation, probably 25, 30 feet tall. Weird, isn't it? Okay. So, excuse me. What do you think? You think we're out there? I do. So, and I've got hours and hours beyond this. We could be here all day. But I think when you read the patent, and to those of you who want it, just, we'll get it, we'll put it up on the Crystal Network. David, I'll get it sent to you as well. Mike Miller can go over. Yeah. all I can say, folks, there's your evidence. We are so far ahead. Now, for that patent, I know I've gone through the patent process. I'm assuming the individual most likely worked for the military. But how the hell he got a patent for what is in essence warp speed? This is how it happens. You create a bubble. And in this bubble, it contains energy. It allows you to have inertia. And this is what we see out there. And you go out there and you can check it out yourself. You can see the triangles, the TR3s, as they begin to turn, they begin to become as bright as a star. And then you see them move immediately, you know, a distance, which could probably be 2 or 3 miles. They stop. And then the next thing you know, whoo, they're gone. It's a warp field. It's what we read. That's exactly what we read, was a warp field. Go figure. I can't. Give me a second. That's my wife. She's out of town, and so, you know, you do this thing. I'm batching it here, so it's a groovy place. Anyway, so I just wanted to share this with you folks. You know, as we continue into the new year, we're moving into realms. I have no doubt, as Laura Eisenhower said, we have colonies on Mars. We most likely have, I would say, observational posts deep into our solar system. I think we know now that there are other species that are here. I think we've had this tech since the early 50s. I do. The Nazis had it. They just didn't understand it, and it was a very crude form. If you go back and you read the documents, and you can get them, they're online, the Nazis had figured out how to make a anti-magnetic field. And, you know, it was by using mercury in 2 opposite polarized discs. And as they began to spin in between the mercury, it began to generate this field. I think it was more anti-gravity than anti-magnetic, but here, there. And they just couldn't control it. They didn't have the computers. They didn't have, when you're thinking about a man trying to control a craft that virtually is now defining the laws of physics, very difficult. And I think that that's why, you know, when they found out that we knew, I think it got us the attention. I think that, you know, Gene had it right. You know, as you remember the movie back with Next Generations, First Contact, you know, the Vulcans had sensors as they were going through to be able to detect warp fields. And I think that this is what we're talking about. I think it's on the same level. And no doubt, advanced species would be very much aware of that. And again, that ship next to the sun, I don't care what anyone says. That is remarkable footage. And as far as the TR3s are concerned, I've seen them. They've gone right over our house. And they're not hiding it. All right, I'll show you one last video. Give me a second here. So let me get this pulled up. No, that's not the one. That's the one that was captured from an airplane. People are capturing these from now commercial flights. They're seeing them. We've caught them on the ISS feed. Now, they tried to shut the feed off, but yeah, that doesn't do much good. I mean, we still see it, and they think we're not recording this. All right, so give me a second here, and I will let you see this footage. So this is this guy apparently got taken down off of YouTube. I don't know why. Maybe he was showing stuff that he wasn't supposed to be showing, but Anyway, so obviously, it's a typical person who's trying to. How many of us have done this? I mean, you know how difficult it is. You see something up in the sky, you're trying to get your camera, but the handshake is there, particularly when you're trying to get up something very close and tight. So we'll just advance this. So there it is. Yeah, clear as a bell. Here's another one. They're all over the world. I think that we have these crafts. As I said, I heard the fleet is vigorous. It's large. And why wouldn't it be? Think about it. Here was a person who was trying to have a brief encounter in the woods, and lo and behold, they're sitting in the fog, and you can see there's a TR-3. It's activated its propulsion system. If you let this one play in normal time, there it is. You can see it. It's there. And we come. Check this one out, folks. I'm going to let this one run in. Yeah. Yeah. Right out in listen, they've filmed them over New York City, and people don't look up. And there is the craft. There's the propulsion system. These obviously are emitters. Now we're beginning to understand what we're looking at. And now you can begin to assign, when people see these lights formations, you can go back and you can say, yeah, I know all about that. I've seen it, and I can show you the patent and, where all this is located at. Yeah. Great Scott, classic filmage. Excellent. Miss Space Cake. Yeah. Hello. How are you doing? Anyway, when you read the patent, let's see, what's that say? Well, thank you, Truth in Me. Yeah. Yeah. The TR-4s, that's what Griffin is saying. Yeah, I don't have any doubt about it. Well, thank you, Julie Ann Payne. Going to get you on here, hon. Yeah, well, yeah. I have a tendency of looking up more. Thank you to Paige, Trading Post. Appreciate that. Doesn't mean that we are in space. I don't know, Wanda. That's well, we know we're in space. We have seen the TR-3s, or, whatever they are now. They're up at the space station. I think now that the United States can officially announce to the world, we're the only country that has an official military designated Space Force. Now, here's the odd thing. That Space Force isn't going out there to a corral with no horses. No, they've got a whole fleets, and who knows what they're doing. Well, folks, have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves, and I hope you're having fun for the holidays. We still got New Year's. See you on Monday. I believe we'll be on Sunday over at Jeffrey. And hey, we'll just continue. Got a good show for Monday. And then Tuesday, we have Miss Trina. So, folks, much favor to you. Thank you, David. And a strong end to the week. Yeah, isn't that odd how we call it a week? That's the interesting about the English language. I can say it's the weekend, and by putting an A where the E is, it changes the whole construction. But if I was to say the EE, then you begin to think, well, How can that be weak? Yeah. All right. Much love to y'all. See y'all soon. And yeah, keep looking up, man. Strange stuff out there. All right. Bye-bye.